Hi, my name is Nirmala. Welcome to the podcast Voice and Visibility. This podcast is presented by Nirmala Foundation, supported by New Future Nepal, and sponsored by Step 3 Construction. Today, we are having the man behind this podcast, and he is Mr. Charlie Rivers. He is the founder of Step 3 Construction, the award winning construction company. So, today, welcoming him in England in his place. Welcome to the podcast.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's always a pleasure. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. It's delightful to be on the podcast with you.
So, what made you visit Nepal, and what was your impression when you landed in Triveni Airport?
So, what an interesting question. So, I'll start with landing in Nepal. Different. It's very, very different. So the first thing, I've flown around the world quite a lot, but flying into Nepal was interesting straight away because as you're flying in the plane, as you well know, to come into Kathmandu, all of a sudden there's mountains by the window, which is unusual as you're looking through the window and you think, oh my God, there's a mountain right there. And then as you fly into Kathmandu, it's in a bowl, isn't it? So the plane just goes, and then a really short runway. So once I'd got over the fear of flying in like that, there were just so many people, so much noise. It was humid and warm. It was very early in the morning, to be fair, and I hadn't slept very much on the plane, but it was just so different. It was magical. Tilak from the Hope Centre, New Future Nepal, was there to meet us at the airport. So it was great to see a familiar face when we landed. But then getting into a taxi and driving to our hotel was quite an experience. As you know now, having been in England for a couple of times, the roads and traffic is very different. Very different here, isn't it, to Kathmandu? So, having never really been to any part of Asia before in my life, the roads were very interesting. It took me about 3 days to be confident enough to cross the road as a pedestrian. I remember talking to you about it because it was just standing at the side of the road waiting for all the cars to go past. It's like, no, you have exactly. You have to just walk, which is a very, very unusual thing for us to do. Suddenly, just walk out into the traffic. But it's surprising because after a few days, I did actually get very comfortable with that. And the initial sort of, it was a lot to take in very quickly. Very different culture. But I was really excited about the trip. I was really excited to go to Nepal. And it did not take me very long to get used to it. And the thing that really, really got me is just how wonderful and friendly all the people were, straight from the off. It gave me a huge comfort. I felt very, it's in England we use an expression like a duck out of water, which I'm sure makes total logical sense. But I felt very, stuck out of water in Kathmandu for a while. But I got used to it very quickly, and thanks to yourselves, became very comfortable with it very quickly and fell in love with the place.
That means you enjoy your trip.
Absolutely. Well, as you know, we're already planning another one.
Oh, that's exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah. When is it that?
We're hoping to come out in November this year.
Wow.
So where are we now? Middle of August. So not actually that long. And very keen to come out and see how you guys have, started this podcast and set yourselves up in your new location. I'm very excited to come and see it all.
We're happy to have you in our new location.
Well, that's very kind of you, and I'm very looking forward to it.
And we're looking forward to it as well. So, how did you first hear about Nirmala Foundation? And you meet me and Chris by chance. And what made you want to involve in what we're doing? And what taught you the most?
Very good. So I'll start at the beginning of that. So how did I come across Nirmala Foundation? So we started a music festival in this country in 2010. We wanted to raise money for a small charity. Well, I've done plenty of work with bigger charities before, and I found it very difficult. You'd raise some money, but you would never really understand fully where that money was going or what it was for. You were very distanced from what you were raising money for, which I always found, it was great to do that sort of thing, but I was always keen to work with a much smaller charity. When we started our music festival in 2010, some family friends of ours, Ange Bowen, she was working with a small charity called New Futures Nepal, which obviously you guys know very well. So New Futures Nepal looks after orphan children in Kathmandu, which you were one of.
Of centre.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were there from the start, so you know all about that.
Yeah.
But so we started working with New Futures Nepal. Again, at that stage of my life, I was very busy with my career. And doing the music festival was a lot of work for me. So it was very difficult for me personally at that stage of my life to then, engage. And I knew the minute that I went to Nepal at some point, I would be completely and utterly...
You had that thought already.
Exactly. Okay. I knew that I would be very touched by the charity. And it was myself and my dad who were working on that project together. Dad was at a slightly different stage of his career at the time. We did 5 music festivals, and over that period, I think we raised about 150,000 over the 5 years. And Dad got straight away involved and has been out to Nepal, I think, 11 or 12 times since 2010-11, and has been involved heavily in some big construction projects, as you well know. So at the Hope Centre, they built another building. Didn't they? And they built a building in Kalimpong. And Dad was involved heavily with NFN in building those.
Mandela House, it is.
That was the one. And then when, so as things sort of developed, I had a little bit more time available to me. Dad had been nagging me for ages to come with him to Nepal. And I was not remotely resisting going for any other reason than when I went, I wanted to be able to make a difference and do something, because I knew that I would get very engaged with it. And lo and behold, that was absolutely true. So I didn't actually know very much about the Nirmala Foundation until I came to Nepal. And it was really the flight over with my dad, and the first day we landed, I think we met you guys that evening. But it might have been the next day.
Next day, yeah.
But the first day we were in Kathmandu, we went straight to the Hope Centre. And my God, that was just an incredible experience for me. Very eye-opening, very powerful, and made me think very hard about the opportunities that are presented by just living in a different part of the world and how unfair that is. And if there's anything that I could possibly be doing to bring opportunity to people like yourself who grew up in that situation to have the best life that you can possibly have. And it was, a day or two later when my dad had organised to have some food with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And he was telling me about you and your story. And the whole thing felt great to me. The other thing that I really observed was it felt like a generation shift. Not that needed to happen. It just felt, it immediately felt like my support should be with you rather than with NFN directly. NFN are very established now and have got their own setup and are doing really well. We work very closely with NFN, as you know, all the time. Still, it's all very much in my head, the same sort of thing. But meeting you guys was just fantastic. The energy that you brought to the room was just everything that I hoped it would be. And I was just blown away by what you were trying to achieve. And to have grown up in the Hope Centre with, when I met you, your prosthetic leg, I like to describe it as a scaffold pole, which is a sort of straight pole, but it wasn't great for you, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't.
And my first observation was, your passion about wanting to really change orphan, or especially amputee children in Kathmandu, give them opportunity. I had no idea And it's such a Western culture. We don't think about these things, but I had no idea how everybody wants to disguise their disability, wants to, I did not know that it wasn't that accepted, and people wanted to, disguise that they didn't have an amputee. And that broke my heart. I think it's just so amazing what you're doing, giving these kids a chance to actually go and enjoy their lives and actually do things and build communities that would never be there or would never happen. And unless you go to Kathmandu and you see these things with your own eyes, you can't explain it to anybody.
That's true, yeah.
So in answer to your question, the whole thing was just exceptionally powerful. And I feel very privileged to have met you both. I'm very privileged to be sat here with you now.
We are glad that we are here, and somebody who you maybe you have heard some stories, or maybe you have some you've been involved with the Poo Fest and New Future Nepal and Hope Center. You've been knowing all the stories, and David Bazi would be always trying to push you.
Sure.
But we are never ever have any idea about the Charlie Rivers who exists.
That's probably good.
Yeah. And somebody came into the live suddenly and, hey guys, if you agree, I want to be on the board. And that was so amazing thing. And we kind of, even now, we just reflect the years, and we have achieved so much in just a year.
You have. It's incredible.
We have achieved so much in a year, and which would not be possible without you and you guys all support, So thank you so much for being so generous
It's
and
my pleasure.
kind. Yeah. And so I was always surprised how this man who never ever met someone before and ready to help straight away. I was always thinking that.
So I think it's really because of exactly what you've just said. I feel like I've been involved heavily with New Futures Nepal since 2010. We're now in 2026. That's 16 years. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Although I hadn't been there, I've been involved. And as you so correctly say, I was always being filled in on what was going on. I was always looking at videos and content and things, and obviously photographs after my dad's been several times. So I was at arm's length, but I've been involved for much longer than that. And it's testament to you guys. I wouldn't have just done that if I didn't think that you guys were great, and you got every chance of being able to change people's lives. And that is what instantly hooked me into you. And here we are, still together 2 years later.
Thank you. So, big appreciation for that, making all this happen. And as I have to say that in this small time period, like we've made not just 1.5 around years, like not been 2 years or so, and especially the prosthetic limbs that you have arranged everything to get this one. And I'm proud Everest Base Camp trekker by this
Yeah, 100% proud.
Yeah. And this leg have given me such a independency. I had before as well, but the one that I was using before was not as helpful and as comfortable as this one. Comfortable in the sense more easier, because walking in the prosthetic limb is not really an easy thing,
Of course
but not comfortable thing as well. But we have come so far in this short period, and I always appreciate that. And you kind of manage with a very short time, and that's a kind of magic for us. Because we raise so much of money, and it's so obvious that it costs. I think for the calculation, if you go, the cost of lake, it was huge. It cost more than a house, right? It cost more than a house, and that the living cost or traveling cost in here would be like more than the leg would cost. This was not possible with just a wish, or just having to wish it. So how do you just think we can do it? You didn't think like this is big, or we cannot achieve, or why should we help somebody with this much of help? Maybe this amount of money would educate like hundreds and thousands of children in village. So why you chose to help one single lady?
So very difficult question to answer. The passion for me is what drives it. And the leg in this situation, your new prosthetic, is the lives that you're going to affect in Kathmandu, the volume, the number of people that you are going to change and make impact on over your lifetime is huge. And what you're saying to me about why did I want to help one person?
Yeah.
Very, very good point. I'm helping one person because of what you're going to do for everybody else. So it's not really helping one person, it's helping lots of people. But my observation, especially where you're so heavily into sports, and is how are you going to sensibly be able to do all of this unless you've got the best tools and the best equipment that you can have to be able to help these people? And my first observation is, wow, what an amazing human being, and how powerful and how strong. And what are you going to be able to do to influence everybody else? And I wanted to give you the very best chance to be able to do that. And that was always goal number one. Don't forget that we're now getting into what we're going to do together to help with lots of other things.
Yeah.
But my first, I don't know is the answer. It just felt like the right thing to do for me. And don't get me wrong, when I got back to England and we all started digesting what we were trying to achieve, and we realised how much money it was going to cost, I did have a small panic because, well, you know what I'm like. I'm very determined. And if I want to achieve something, I will give it everything that I've got to achieve it. That does not necessarily mean that I will achieve everything every time, as you know. But anything that you want to achieve, whatever you're doing, requires determination and attitude. And I've definitely got that. And luckily in this situation, I managed to achieve it. And here we are. And what an amazing tool it's been. You'd have never gone to Everest Base Camp without that. I wouldn't have thought. And now you've been.
Yeah.
And, how amazing was that?
Yeah, this is really, really a very proud thing for myself as well. Maybe I will not have some other thing, because sometimes pushing or doing something you wanted to do, but sometimes you've had, well, I wanted to do, but hang on, this is not possible.
Of course.
Yeah. So that was always the thing.
But it was possible, and you've done it. And I think that this is, the whole ethos really behind Nirmala Foundation and what you're trying to show other people that you can do. And that's what's so wonderfully powerful about your story, and what makes me 100% want to help you.
So what would you say to someone who wants to support to make a big difference, but sometimes they may have fear, or they may afraid, oh, this is a small help.
Sure.
To make a big difference, it can be a small support.
So what we have to deal with your foundation is the whole picture. And there is no help, in my view, that is too small. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
I think that that's a really important message to get across. A very good question, because there'll be loads of people. And in some of the fundraising operations I've been involved in with you guys, I get asked that a lot. People, even in England, not everybody has money that they can give to other causes. It's a very good question, but lots of people doing something small makes a big difference. And anything that anybody does makes a big difference. What we're dealing with here is a lot. We're trying to change people's lives, and there is no help too small. And if there's ever anything that people want more clarity on, or whether they're frightened of something, I would encourage them to contact the foundation and we'll talk to them about it.
Yes, you're right. So, do you think or do you agree the partnerships or the collaboration between the people in UK or anywhere in the world or the organization in Nepal are very important, and those collaboration would make a difference? And is this important, do you think? And the organization like New Future Nepal or the Brango, who is trying to being the gap, bridge the gap.
The Brango thing's amazing because the obvious difference is there's a huge language barrier, for one, between, from my point of view, your English it's fantastic, but my Nepalese is awful. I mean, non-existent. Namaste is about as far as it goes. So there's obvious things like that, and that connection and the support from the English side and the Nepal side is very helpful. But also, what we're discovering with that of very recent times is, we're talking about getting some legal assistance in that same sort of support and field, which would be very good, because you wouldn't believe, well, you would, but as listeners, you wouldn't believe how difficult and how much corporate stuff there is in between NGOs in Nepal, and actually even just practicalities of getting money from the UK to Nepal is very challenging. All of which, myself very naively at the start of this journey, it was a bit like even with tackling getting your leg. My naive brain thought, oh, we'll get you a new leg. Done. That's not really the case, is it? And I don't know why for 1 minute I thought that would be. But it's the same with all these little things that you have to all these little challenges. And we'll have the same problems wherever we're raising money in the world. But that's where I find the collaboration between, even New Futures Nepal and your NGO, Nirmala Foundation, and limited companies in the UK. We all have to work together to be able to achieve these things. And the more support we get from different areas, the more helpful all these things become, and just allow it to become more about the foundation and what we're trying to do. I'm trying to take away as much of that from you guys as I can, so that you can concentrate on thinking about the right things.
Thank you for being there. So, if you would change one thing about how society sees people with disabilities, and what would it be?
That's a very difficult question. Are you talking about in Nepal, or are you talking about across the world?
Across the world.
Interesting. I would strongly suggest, I think that, and this is just my opinion, everybody across the world who doesn't have a disability always has some sort of almost curiosity. And I don't want to say fear, but I think fear is, you know what I mean by fear. Nervousness, curiosity, a lack of understanding. And I would highly encourage people to spend more time being brave and talking to people with disabilities and including people. I want to see the biggest difference I want to make with my life in supporting what you're doing is I want to see the difference it makes with confidence in young children and giving them a chance to go out and achieve what they want to achieve. Because no one else is going to do it for these guys. Thank God we're here talking now, because, if Tilak hadn't helped you at that time, heaven forbid where things were going, you might not even be here.
No.
And what I want is to use the relationship that we've built and use everything that we've piling into this to help and support as many people, even if it's, just building some confidence and making them feel like they don't need to be frightened of anything. They're totally normal human beings. We're all exactly the same. Just because you don't have a limb, it makes no difference to me. And I would strongly suggest that everybody, if they get the opportunity, spends more time understanding about it. Imagine what it's like for the other person. It's easy to ignore, but there's no need to do that. We want to include.
And also sometimes it's not about any maybe not about any disabilities, maybe some difference or the
Of
uniqueness,
course.
what a person is different from another.
Absolutely. Exactly right. It doesn't have to be a missing limb. It could be a mental disability. It could be anything. And to a certain degree, I think that every single person in the world has got something
different.
Something different. It would, and it's just crazy to me that there isn't more inclusion of all these things. And personally, I'm just delighted to be involved with something that is so rewarding.
Yes, thank you. Looking forward, looking ahead.
Sure.
What would you love to see Nirmala Foundation achieve in next few years? As you said that this is just a start.
This is just the start, and it's really not about me. It's about you. I think what you've already achieved already makes me very excited about. We were already tackling some of these problems.
Yeah.
Your amputee football program, for example. Every time I watch a video of you guys doing that, it makes me feel incredible. Watching you guys make a serious difference. You're already doing it. What I want to see is for it to grow, stabilize. I want to make sure, and the biggest role for me in your foundation is I want to get you guys to a point where you're very comfortably structured. You have the basic things that you need to be able to operate the foundation, and you can spend all your time not worrying about how do we earn enough money to live. You're worried about how do we make a difference with these guys and different programs, but you're already involved in so many things. It's so wonderful to see. I'd love to see the amputee football team go to the World Cup. I think we all would, but equally it is not critically important. I think that what you're already doing with the amputee football team is fantastic. I love your amputee runway project. I think that's amazing. I mean, the list goes on, right?
Yeah.
What I want to see, I'm already seeing, which is wonderful. But I just want to see it grow and get bigger and better.
Yeah. And lastly, maybe we would wrap up. So we just last year, not just a year, we were talking about what next step would be, and we just decided, we just had a conversation. Okay, maybe we would do the project Voice and Visibility, the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here we are.
Yeah, and here we are. And
the international version.
Yes, the international version. And it's kind of weird to do all the podcasts in English.
You poor thing, you're doing really well.
So, what excites or what excited you or believe in that Voice and Visibility project first in the first conversation?
So, great question again. So, podcast these days, obviously, with the internet and how we all communicate internationally, everything's become much more straightforward. We all have a platform to be able to have a voice. And I think that one of the most important things, certainly from my side of my involvement with the Nirmala Foundation, is being able to raise funds. It's far, far easier to raise funds in this side of the world. It instantly opens the door to communication and visibility across the world. Whereas everything's happening in Nepal, we want to expand it. We want to be able to tell people that might, there's, in my mind, there's no doubt at all that anybody in the world could be interested about what we're doing here at Nirmala Foundation and should be, if I'm being honest. So we haven't got anything stopping us from as wide an audience as we want. The wider the audience, the easier it becomes to raise funds and do things, because we build a bigger community of people. And I think it's such a great way, and you're already doing it so brilliantly, of engaging other people to talk about different things and different problems, and just show how important it is that we all work together. So I think it's a super platform. It's a great voice for you to be able to talk about all the things you're getting on with and meet new people and see what their opinions are. And I hope we get a chance when I'm in Nepal with you to do another one, actually in your setup and in your studio, because I think that would be really fun, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is get out in November, and then we can really start getting this podcast rocking.
Yes, we were looking forward. Actually, we had planned last November, but everything was...
It was just too quick, wasn't it?
Everything was...
So we'll reset for this November, but I think that that would be an amazing start, and then we can just start building on this platform.
Yeah. So, we are now already in the board, and it will go long.
Yes.
So, thank you so much for arranging everything in here, arranging everything in terms of podcasting, everything over here. And we are loving to be here, and we never thought that we would be staying this long in here. And we are kind of, you guys are saying, you are being proper English.
You are. You just said I'm going to go and spend a penny, which is the most English thing to say. Listen, it's very kind of you, and thank you very much for having me on the podcast. And we love you guys, and we're here for the long haul. As you say, we're in the boat. Time for a long journey. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you guys, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And having you in England is a pleasure. It's a joy. And I think that it most definitely won't be the last time that you're in England, unfortunately.
We wish, Well,
you've become part of the furniture.
Yay.
We love having you here. Thank you for having me. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for the next episode.